Today I want to talk about LSU hosting Grambling and Southern in back-to-back years at Tiger Stadium. I'm fired up about it, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we got to talk about Southern and Grambling headed to Tiger Stadium in back-to-back years. Per the press release, Scott Woodward put this one on paper. We got Southern on September 10th, 2022 at Tiger Stadium. And then we got Grambling on September 9th, 2023 at Tiger Stadium. And I'm going to work my damnness to try to go to both of those. I am fired up about this because I love historically black colleges and I love HBCU football. I was raised around the swag, doggone it. Jackson State, Southern, Grambling. Them's the schools growing up, homie. Look, for those of you that don't know, the award that Ed Orgeron won this year as Coach of the Year is called the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year Award. It is given to the nation's top college football coach each year because Eddie Robinson is a legend. And where did Rob come from? Rob came from Grambling University, Grambling State University, that is. Now, Grambling, look, Grambling is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. If for no other reason than Doug Williams comes out of Grambling, and many of you will know Doug Williams is dude that showed up to Washington off the bench and then Super Bowl MVP. And would they respond by it? Giving him the lowest contract in the history of the league. It was really slapping the face. But between Southern and Grambling, you got, what is it? 15. Yeah, you got 26. You got 26 national championships. My goodness. You got 26 conference championships. Look, I'm excited about this because, one, HBCUs are in need of some money, like most other universities, but HBCUs are also in threat of going under in good years. And in a year of such as the pandemic, where I'm a little bit more worried about some of them than others. I mean, this goes all the way to NCA&T, South Carolina State, West Virginia State, Tougaloo, Tuskegee, and on it goes, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman. They are treasures. And at one point, HBCUs were exactly where you needed to go to find the best talent in all of football. As a matter of fact, in the 60s, Jackson State had one year in which they saw 8 players drafted in the first round. This is before integration, back when, we had to create our own universities and colleges just so we could get in college. Walter Payton comes out of Jackson State, but also so does Buck Buchanan. And many people will know Buck Buchanan's name because it's given to the nation's best defensive player in the FCS each year, to which, as fate would have it, Jabril Cox won at North Dakota State, or he was a finalist for it, and he's transferred to LSU to play some linebacker there, probably going to play the Mike or the Will in Bo Pelini's defense this year as a grad transfer coming from a really outstanding program that is North Dakota State. Meanwhile, it gives me an opportunity to tell my favorite story about recruiting at LSU and Southern. So Mark Spears was going to go to Southern University, all right? He was the nation's #1 tight end after going to a camp, and, he's a defensive end. But Nick Saban had just got the job at the time, and he went to Mark Spears and said, look, you can't leave the state. I can't let you leave the state. To which Spears said, you ain't got to worry about me leaving the state, coach. I'm not even going to leave the city. I'm going to Southern. Said Pat Roach just down the street. And Nick Saban was like, look, I know that not everybody on the program, because of the way that race has been at the middle of so much, particularly in Louisiana, but also, across the country. He couldn't let him leave and, ends up going to LSU and they end up winning the doggone thing. And Nick Saban is who Nick Saban is for that matter, because it doesn't matter to Nick Saban what you look like. Can you play? I mean, it's like, it's White Man Can't Jump. It's the soundtrack. It's Can You Come Out and Play with the OJs. You understand? But between, like Grambling and Southern, you got so much history, but Grambling's had 120 players selected in the NFL and the AFL drafts, including the #1 pick, which I mentioned was Buck Buchanan in the AFL draft 1963. And I mentioned Doug Williams and him winning Super Bowl MVP and was first round pick with Tampa Bay Buccaneers and was former head coach for the Grambling Tigers. Look, this is the kind of thing that normally I don't really I don't talk about here on the channel, but I need to do more of because it matters to me and I love it. And I made it the 3 o'clock upload for that reason. You look at Mel Blount, you look at Aeneas Williams, Harold Carmichael. I mean, it's a who's who, and sometimes I feel like our history gets kind of swept under the rug because FCS football is FCS football, and historically black colleges don't play on national television all the time. It's usually quite literally the Bayou Classic and then whatever bowl game that the Celebration Bowl between, top HBCUs ends up being. But even in years where Grambling or Southern, mostly Grambling, has that opportunity to play in the FCS playoffs, they might actually just forget it so that they can still play the Bayou Classic because it means so much to so many of us. Man, it's on my bucket list to take my girlfriend to the Bayou Classic. I've been, but I want her to go. I want her to experience it. And the idea of Tiger Stadium hosting Grambling and Southern halftime thing to be so over the top and so awesome. And then, one of the things that I actually was really interested to find out was LSU's 22 schedule, because I was like, okay, you putting these schools on it, and I understand that, they're money gains for some, but like they also got Florida State and UAB on the schedule in 2022. And then if we look at 2023, they got Army and Florida State on the schedule along with Grambling, and then Georgia State. Who knows how good Georgia State might be or might not be before they go into their SEC schedule that features Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Texas A&M, at Mississippi State, at Mizzou, and then at Ole Miss. So LSU is going to be a very hot ticket for the foreseeable future, and they have just the right head coach, and they are making all the right moves right now. I am very excited about that football game. And yeah, OU's the squad, but nothing gets me charged up like an HBCU going in the SEC. I would love to see Prairie View get scheduled with Oklahoma, Langston get scheduled with Oklahoma if you could make it work. It would fill me with such joy because these things mean that much to me. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.